morning, millennials. Welcome back to The Morning Toast. It is Inauguration Day here in America, but more importantly, it is Hump Day! And Thea was here to,
celebrate alongside me.
And to let us, get out our Hump Day frustrations on him by humping him.
I know. It's always nice when it's Hump Day, obviously.
Of course.
But the fact that it's a short week just continues to pay off and surprise and delight. Mm-hmm. And it's just so fabulous. I hope everyone is enjoying their short week.
Yeah, no, I definitely am, even though, not to be annoying, but it could be shorter.
It could be a little shorter.
Just a little.
Let's trim off that Friday.
2-3 days. It could definitely be shorter.
Let's trim off the Friday.
It is a Wednesday, though, and the news is just cycling about. Lots of Bachelor drama.
We have a lot to talk about today.
We have Dear Toasters. We have Cameron Westcott interview at the end of the episode, which is just iconic, beautiful, stunning, and smart. She's a queen, which will also be recapping Real Housewives of Dallas before that. So just stay tuned for an adventure.
Stay tuned for an adventure. Also, today's a big day for me because I'm getting my hair cut today.
You are?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm just doing cut off all the split ends and dead ends. People comment on my Instagram telling me my ends look split. It's so fucking rude.
That's so hurtful.
It's so hurtful, but they're not wrong.
But also it's a testament to the type of camera you're using because it's obviously so high quality. How are people seeing your split ends on Instagram?
100%. So I'm getting a trim of all the dead ends, and then I'm also going to do a lot of layers. But the decision hasn't been made yet. Convince me otherwise. Convince me to do an Ana de Armas.
No, haircut. I will. I love you. I would never do that.
Do you want a petition for any sort of haircut for me?
I was a really, really big champion and lobbyist of your bob. Mm-hmm. And I wanted you to bring it back for so many years. But I think I've actually sat on it long enough. And I'm glad you didn't do it because I don't think it's the right cut for you right now. I think you're not there yet.
Yeah, no, I'm not there yet. I will go back to the bob life at some point.
But I would love something drastic, a shoulder length.
Me too, a curtain bang. No, that's just not my vibe whatsoever. And
it looks good on Margot.
Let's Snitch have her moment.
Yeah, but I don't hate the idea of doing something major.
I know. So I really am just gonna sit back. I'm gonna give an idea of what I'm looking for, but also say, do what you think is best.
Yeah, no, you know what?
I want to walk out with something that I didn't expect, which is never what you want from a haircut, but just goes to show how bored we all are.
Yeah, but I have a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder from haircuts of lives past, and I now always go into a haircut with very specific instructions. I don't want to leave here crying, and I don't want to lie and say I like it when I actually go home and cry.
But me too, but just I want to look at something different in the mirror every day. That's how much I'm just craving a change.
Yeah, no, your hair is really long. You're getting to the mole woman phase, and that's when it's time.
So I'm really excited because I don't even really style it for the show anymore. I just put it behind my ears or put it in a bun. So I'm excited to have an actual haircut and not just hair.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's really exciting. And other than that, I went to the dentist yesterday.
All good?
All good, which was really surprising because I was having some pain, but...
Oh, and then we recorded a fabulous Patreon episode that you could check out at patreon.com/morningtoast. A little Q&A. New year, new questions, new us.
Yes, very good stuff. People are asking some good questions.
Oh, my legs are sore. I've been finding new ways to sit on this couch that make my boots look cool.
You know what? Our boots looked so cool yesterday, both of us.
So I am recreating my position from yesterday, and it's really not comfortable.
Yeah, but beauty is pain.
I know, but just being this beautiful all the time, it's a lot of work.
And it's a lot of pain.
And being not only this beautiful, but also a published author in T-minus 6 days. Girl with No Job, The Crazy Beautiful Life of an Instagram Thirst Monster. Now available for pre-order at anywhere they sell books, ebooks, audiobooks, and hardcover books. I read a little excerpt on the Toast yesterday.
Did you get any feedback? Was Maverick coming out of the woodwork being Claudia, I loved you back?
A bunch of people who I know personally who listen to the Toast, they're who's Maverick? I changed a lot of people's name in the book just because I did not want those phone calls or text messages coming in from people.
And also it's still your first love. You don't want, it's personal.
No, and I've actually spoken about him many times on the Toast, and if you wanted to, you could literally find out his name. But I also really like that on the first page, where it has the copyright information, it also says some names and identifying details have been changed to protect the privacy of individuals. What? Did I write a thriller?
Yes.
It's thrilling.
Yes, Claudia and Maverick, the love story.
So I would be open to reading another excerpt if you were open to it.
Oh, sure. I need
Do you
time
want to choose
to
a
drink
page?
My coffee. Now that this is my first coffee of the day here, I actually don't have enough coffee before the show starts. So yes, I'll choose a page. 31.
Any reason? Oh, and I opened to page 32. That's a good sign.
That is a good sign.
I don't know what the sign is, but this is chapter 1, all about our childhood. Oh, this is good.
Okay.
So obviously as a child, I was very, loud, love to sing.
Nuts.
Jackie can attest.
Nuts would be the word.
So you would think my love of performing and captivating audiences would be persuasive, but I made the decision early on not to get into musical theater during high school. Even though I knew I could sing better than half those snot-nosed kids, I didn't want to be associated with the stigma of being a drama kid, which is ironic because if you think about it, that's exactly who I was, a dramatic kid. But I'd seen Mean Girls one too many times and thought that I couldn't be popular while also following my passion for singing. As I'd learned from the fictional halls of constant Billard schools for girls and North Shore High, you couldn't be a drama geek and a popular kid. It was an antiquated view of high school, but it was what I genuinely believed. I cared more about being well-liked than anything else. At one point, I did join choir for half a second, but I dropped out immediately because it was so lame. Plus, I really struggled to be a part of an ensemble choir. I was a soloist through and through. So when I didn't get the first solo, I bailed. Thank you.
Claudia, that's beautiful.
Thank you so much. Available at girlwithnojob.com.
But also, what you just said really goes to further the point that we were making last week
about High School Musical.
High School Musical, the musical, the
100%.
series, and how those walls are really being broken down, and you would have really benefited from that as a child.
100%. And I never when people always ask me, did you do musical theater? And were you one of those kids? And I'm so one of those kids, but I never did it because there was such stereotypes around being a part of certain extracurricular activities, which is so lame. And that's why when I came to that conclusion in the book, and then I watched High School Musical, the series, I'm like, oh my, these kids are so lucky. To go to a high school where you could just be anything you want, that's iconic. And to have media, popular shows, be encouraging that is so cool.
Yes, very, very cool.
I suffered the fate of Mean Girls, and I knew I could not join the drama club, even though I would win a star.
Oh, of course. That is your calling.
Even though I didn't really agree with a lot of their production choices. My senior play was Pippin, male lead.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
But you were in your senior play.
Oh, no, sorry. My play the senior year was Pippin, and I was going to go out for it, but I'm like, Pippin. And yes, the play that the senior class put on was 13, and while I gave such a stellar audition. And I don't want to disrespect, anyone who was in the production because I feel maybe they listened to the show, but I just know that I had a better singing voice than literally anyone who got any bigger parts than me. Not to be rude, but it's true. I'm sorry. And I didn't get it, and I just felt it was obviously because I had never been in drama club, and so the drama kids ran the senior production. So why are we going to give this person who literally never entered the theater? Why are we going to give her a role? I did get a major solo that they cut, and I threw a temper tantrum, and they did put it back in.
Do you want to hear a sadder story?
Yeah, I know yours, yeah.
So for our senior production, it was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I was really excited to participate, and everybody who listens to the show knows that I cannot carry a tune.
But you have so much passion.
I have so much passion. I feel I have so much to offer, and in an acting role, I feel like there's a role for me.
And also, being an integral part of an ensemble cast is not all about singing.
Right.
It's about acting and dancing.
Right.
And
energy.
Yes.
And I had the energy to bring, and so I prepared for my audition. Obviously, I sang The Climb, and I sang it as good as I possibly could, and I got the part of Violet Beauregard, and I was so excited.
What a role. Perfect for you.
Perfect for me. Literally, she doesn't sing that much, but she has a big role, and she's got a lot to offer. And then they canceled the play.
Oh, yeah, there wasn't enough interest.
There wasn't enough interest.
That's really fucking sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my play did make it. It was 13, and I got the role of Cassandra. She was just a chatty cheerleader. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a wonderful experience, and it made me wish my whole high school experience I had done theater.
Yeah. Well, speaking of girlwithnojob.com/book, we are recording an episode next week that drops launch week of the book with Claudia and the Redheads. And as part of every Redheads episode, if you listen, we take questions from the listeners. And so if you guys have questions about Claudia's book, or upon reading it, you have questions about the book that you read, or, her journey as an author, email them to the Redheads Book Club at gmail.com.
But the Redheads Book Club is really living in the 90s.
What do you mean?
You take questions via email?
Yes, we do. It works lovely.
Why don't you take it on Instagram, in the Q&A?
No, it's too fleeting. And in email, people actually, they write
thoughtful.
They write thoughtful things. They talk about their initial thoughts on the book, and we read the whole thing.
Oh, that actually is nice.
They have substance.
That's funny.
That's what we do at the Redheads.
No, substantial, yeah. Speaking of podcasts, I'm on Mood with Lauren Elizabeth today, just came out. One of my favorite interviews of all time. Lauren is a queen. And I misspoke yesterday. My Taylor Strecker interview doesn't come out till next week. So sorry if you were looking for it yesterday. It's not out yet, but Mood with Lauren Elizabeth is out today, and it's so fabulous, I think.
Love to see it. Also, the Snatchler is out today, and I'm sure she has a lot to say.
We jinxed the Snatchler on this show yesterday.
We did. I'm sorry, Snatchler,
Sorry,
even though you don't listen.
So should we just dive in? Because I feel like we have lots to do.
I think the Snatchler is the perfect segue into diving into the Fast 5 stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast.
Jackie, what's black and white and is fabulous for insurance? Zebra.
That's a good one.
Insurance can be complicated, and that's why the Zebra was created. When you use the zebra.com, insurance finally feels like it's in black and white. No more confusion, just honest rates and real companies. The Zebra is the nation's leading insurance comparison site for car and home insurance. They can help you save money today. It's so easy. Go to thezebra.com and answer a few questions to compare accurate insurance quotes for free. And don't worry, the Zebra protects your personal information and makes sure there are no hidden fees or surprises along the way. The best part? You can secure your insurance from thezebra.com or over the phone from one of their licensed insurance agents. How much money can you save on home and car insurance? Visit thezebra.com/toast. That's THEZEBRA.com/toast for insurance in black and white. I gotta come up with a better joke, but
no, that was good. That was good. Okay, the first story, the big story of the day: the Bachelorette's Clare, Crawley, and Dale Moss break up. So
Shocking.
Dale confirmed the split shortly after E! News exclusively reported the couple was taking time apart. However, it doesn't sound like time apart. It sounds like a breakup in its truest form.
Yeah, it's like the article came out and he was unhappy with it, so he like literally
he's
clarified.
Like, no, it's more permanent than that.
Right.
I'm not coming
Don't
back.
be waiting.
He said, I wanted to share with you all that Claire and I have decided to go our separate ways. We appreciate the love and support we've received from so many people, but this is the healthiest decision for us both at this time. We strongly believe in leading with love and always remaining true to oneself. We only hope for the best things for one another.
I mean, this is so not shocking if you've been keeping up. Even in just the way that they met was so like toxic in a lot of ways, just like the jumping to conclusions, getting engaged after literally knowing each other for a week. And I'm honestly surprised they lasted as long as they did, but I have a feeling they haven't been together for quite some time. This just is like the least surprising thing ever. And I don't know, like it kind of makes me miss Claire. Like even though she was like so chaotic, she was so entertaining. And like this was, even though it feels like a waste of time because they broke up, it was an adventure.
It was an adventure. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, this is so obvious. That's what you get when you don't trust the process and you go with your first instinct and you jump to conclusions. But I just like when I think about Claire right now, I feel sad.
Of course,
like that was her big opportunity. She completely botched it. And in botching
and she wanted to prove everyone wrong.
In botching it, like I had hoped that she knew what she was doing. And she didn't. And I don't know what happened here, but like I don't think Dale signed on to the show to leave in a week and like be engaged and get married for the rest of his life. I just don't think that was like really what he wanted to do.
No, it's true. Like when you think about it, the odds of becoming the Bachelorette, which is such an amazing opportunity, are so slim. And the odds of getting it when you haven't been on the franchise in like 6 years are even more slim. So it was really like this gift that was dropped into her lap and she totally squandered it. And now it's like, it's sad because it's like a joke.
Yeah, and she's single again when she had 25 guys who were, I mean, I want to say like who were there for her and wanting to get engaged to her, but like Dale was one of those guys and I don't think that's what he wanted.
Yeah, not
but
everyone.
Like there were people who were really interested in her. And on the bright side, a contestant from her season has asked her out following their split.
Stop.
This guy, Spencer. Oh no, Spencer only came on for Tayshia. He never met Claire.
Oh, that's weird.
So I hope they go out.
I don't know. I'm just like kind of like as much as it is entertaining, it's also exhausting. And her journey just might not be one that needs to be televised. And I think maybe that's the lesson here.
Yeah, no.
That's the lesson here.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. That's the lesson here. It's like some journeys need not be televised.
Yeah, but I hope that she goes on this date. Like, I just want there to be like something next for her because I just feel really sad. Like she just took this big chance. She blew up the Bachelorette, as Chris Harrison said.
And for nothing.
And for nothing.
Yeah. And I feel like she just deals with a lot personally. And this is just like, and I feel like she takes like breakups really hard. She's not the type of girl who like goes to a club.
No,
and
she
like,
can't. We saw how hard she took it when no one got up to talk to her at the group date.
Right. And I'm thinking at the end of the day, like maybe Dale just didn't show up.
No, I think he did not show up.
And that's upsetting because he did mention, quite a few times that he would show up.
He would be showing up.
Yeah.
But then he did not.
And that's the worst when you're expecting someone to show up and they just don't.
It's a flake.
It's so flaky.
Yeah.
One time you called me flaky and like it really affected me because I feel like I'm like not, but like maybe I am.
I don't know if that's the word I would use to describe you currently.
Currently, no, but I think maybe when you said it, you like kicked me into shape.
Yeah, that's probably true.
It's like a hurtful word.
Yeah, it is. I think some people would describe me as flaky too.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes. I try not to be flaky because I just like don't commit to the initial plan.
But the problem is when you make a commitment, and that's why I live a commitment-free life.
But when I make a commitment, I do try to honor it. But I just try not to make commitments, you know?
Yeah, when I make a commitment, I try to honor it and just like pray that the other person cancels first. There's literally nothing better than like really not wanting to go to do something, even if you love the person.
Yeah,
you just don't want to get out of your bed
personal.
and like just avoiding it. You're just okay, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna text them, and then like an hour before, they're like, "Hey, sorry, something came up," and you're just like so happy because you're not the flaky one, and then you also don't have to get out of bed.
Yeah. It's a beautiful
thing. It's
thing.
an iconic moment, yeah.
So Claire, I don't know. I just, it made me sad. Like I can't.
I know. I wish I had some words of wisdom, but your energy, like I said and have said many times, is super chaotic, and I just don't know if like we would jive.
Yeah. Well, our next story is some happy Bachelor news that I don't think we've shared yet. One, Arie Luyendyk Jr. and Lauren Burnham are pregnant with twins.
Oh.
And they are revealing the sex.
Do they have
Sexes.
An Instagram account for the twins yet?
Oh, I'm sure that they do.
Because they're like classic influencers. Like Alessi had a
Baby Alessi.
sonogram before she was born. Like she had an Instagram with sonograms up.
Yeah, and her
the bump.
Instagram is like popping now.
Yeah.
But they are having a boy and a girl. Alessi is getting a baby brother and a baby sister.
You know, the more I think about it as a mom, having twins just must be ideal.
I know. I used to think it wasn't, but now I think that it is.
It's like so much fucking work. Like I watched Olivia, like just the pregnancy is just so much work on your body and it's so hard, and then the nursing. And to bang it out with two doesn't seem so bad.
No, it doesn't seem so bad
The
at all.
delivery, not ideal, but still.
Yeah. I'm really happy for them. We never really talk about Arie and Lauren anymore, but like...
But we were big supporters of them.
And they showed up for each other, and they continue to.
And they proved everyone wrong. When at the end of the day, like, I feel like one of the things I don't always agree with, like, Bachelor Nation and, like, their assumptions about people, but I felt like they all really took Becca Kufrin's side in the Arie thing, which, of course, like, Arie shouldn't have chosen the wrong girl. But he tried to right his wrong, and at the end of the day, like, Becca ended up becoming the Bachelorette, which... for a multitude of reasons is like way better than being a winner. Like everyone wants to be the Bachelorette. Winning is good too, but it's not as good as becoming the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
So I feel like even though it was like a tough situation, he handled it very well, and he ended up following his heart. And literally him and Lauren have like such a
beautiful life,
beautiful, happy, full, peaceful life. And I feel like they're one of the people who like Bachelor Nation like owes an apology to.
Yeah.
There's a few people like that. Olivia Caridi.
Yes. She got her apology though.
She did. Who else? Me. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. But they're like, that's just one of those things that like I remember was so crazy. Like when it was all going down, it was like literally like the biggest scandal of our lives. And it's like now it's so silly. Like they're so happy.
Yeah, they're so happy. So we're happy for them.
See, Arie was a choice in Bachelor that was like so random, but I actually ended up really liking.
Yeah.
Whereas Clare is like, I don't know, I just can't decide if I like lived for Clare's season. I think I did. Like, I think I was living for the chaos.
It is exciting.
And honestly, like, even though I'm really enjoying the season of Matt James, like, Matt James is a little boring because he's so nice and so lovely and is in love with everyone and everyone's in love with him. Like, while that is beautiful to watch, it's not always the most entertaining. Whereas Clare, like, you truly never know who she was going to yell at next. And it was iconic.
Yeah, but I do think for the format of the show, like, it is important that you feel like championing the lead.
Yeah.
And Clare made that hard at times.
Yes. That's very true.
She should also set up a date with that guy who left Tayshia for her because that was a great guy.
Unless he's in a relationship, yes.
Yeah.
He was a cutie. I think his name was Zach.
Jason.
Sure.
She should have trusted the process. The process would have shown her who was true.
But you know what? She was so determined that even if she trusted the process, she would have ended up with Dale.
No, but she might have seen something about Dale. She might have, like, you know, a different connection might have burned slower, but prospered later. Like, that's how the show works.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they broke up, but if I had to venture a guess, it would definitely be on Dale's part. Like, I think he wanted
was like
out.
out at restaurants. Like,
I heard he was like seen at restaurants like with girls, even kissing them on the lips. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, it was. I think Claire's definitely heartbroken right now.
For sure. And I think Dale is wondering how he gets to Paradise.
Yeah, or just how he gets to the next brand
I actually
deal.
think Dale will probably be in Paradise because they said that they're going to most likely do Paradise this year.
Well, I feel like it's actually really conducive to COVID because they don't leave the house.
Yeah.
Actually, for the dates, but...
Yeah. No, I think we'll be seeing him there.
Yeah.
Okay, next story, a little update from last week where we let you know that Armie Hammer was leaving the movie Shotgun Wedding. Josh Duhamel may replace him.
Love that for Josh Duhamel. Any money in Josh Duhamel's pockets just truly makes me happy. He's a king, and I absolutely adore him. Mm-hmm. And so hot.
After Armie Hammer's DM scandal, it has come back to bite him. Josh Duhamel is swooping in to offer a helping hand. The Transformers actor is reportedly in early talks to take over for Armie Hammer in Shotgun Wedding, which co-stars Jennifer Lopez, according to Deadline. So it's not confirmed yet. But I also think that Josh Duhamel, like if this is some sort of romantic comedy, I think Josh Duhamel is the guy.
I mean, there were those years where literally Josh Duhamel could not make a bad movie. Win a Date with Tad Hamilton, so fucking good. That other one with Katherine Heigl where they get the baby and like their friends die and they have to take care of the baby. And they end up falling in love and she's like a morning show producer.
Oh, wait, I'm going. I feel like you're putting two
No,
Katherine
I'm not.
Heigl
I'm
movies
not.
together. Hold
No,
on.
I'm not.
Because she's a morning show. Well, no, she's an E-News host in
Knocked Up. But no, that's not it.
Okay.
Their friends die and they're like two friends who hate each other, but they have to come together because they leave the baby to both of them. And of course they end up falling in love and like becoming a family.
Yes. Also,
what's the movie called?
I'm going to find it, but also Safe Haven.
Yes, of course.
Life as We Know It.
Yes.
That's the one.
He's just like a great rom-com actor and I love him and he's so handsome. Like I hope every time I talk about someone on the show who I like someone sends me a message about like something bad they did. Please do not send me any messages about Josh Duhamel. Like I just want to live in a world where he's like a nice and respectful, chivalrous man. And I know that he is. I do.
Yeah.
I know it in my heart.
The Lost Husband. No, I just watched that.
Oh yeah, I never saw it.
It was good. He was great.
He's just so handsome. Like
yeah,
a great leading man in a rom-com.
He's also in New Year's Eve. Ugh, what a horrible movie.
Yes, that was a bad one.
Yeah.
But Valentine's Day was good.
They're the same thing to me.
No, one has Taylor Swift and one does not. So,
okay, next story. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West marriage issues will be featured on Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
I mean, it's actually crazy, by the way, that we've been literally talking about the Kardashians and Kim has not spoken out on it once. Like,
I know, and I just wanted to take this moment to like recognize that it's been a few weeks of these rumors, and Kim still has not said anything. And for the Kimye stands, like we're in a good spot.
There is a beacon of light.
There is light for the Kimye stands. Kim has filmed her marriage problems with Kanye for the final episodes of Keeping Up. Page Six has exclusively learned, though Page Six was the one to report that they were divorcing.
Yes.
So, grain of salt. A source with knowledge of their show, which is ending after more than a decade-long run and 20 seasons on E! Later this year, said the disintegration of Kim and Kanye's marriage will feature heavily in the final storyline as they make their exit from the reality show.
I mean, that's like, if they are actually headed for divorce and like that's the final season, like sad. Like I want to see a final season with like iconic Kris Jenner moments. Like I want everyone to be drinking. Like I want light and happiness and positivity. I'm so done with like my TV shows becoming just as sad as the world around us. Like I need a place to be filled with positivity and light. And that has been Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And I don't want to see, even if they are getting divorced, honestly, I'd rather they ignore it.
Yeah. The source said that the Kardashians intend to go out with a bang. They filmed Kim discussing her marriage problems, but everybody involved is on an NDA because the finale won't air until later in 2021. Okay. I just want to say my personal opinion, considering like sources just make shit up. My opinion is that that is not true because I think they would rather go into their new show with a bang than leave it at E! Where they've already been paid and they don't owe them ratings.
I know, but I feel like they really care about the legacy of the original show, and it's obviously about
the
business.
legacy is intact.
Yeah,
all they have to do is film another season of the same stuff that they were filming. I actually
no, but
don't
it's
think
a different show
I
name.
don't think that they are inclined to give any big scoop to the last season.
And at some point when they start talking about drama that literally was 2 years ago, like I actually don't care.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, like maybe I'll be wrong, but I just don't think that that makes sense. Like when you're leaving your job, you don't like do the best work ever in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but it's all topical. So I actually feel like they will discuss it on this season and then still go into the new show with a bang. I'm excited for the new show. Like, I hope it's different format in the sense of, like, I feel like a lot of times when there's not a lot going on in the Kardashians' lives, it's so much commercials filled with like filler airtime and like dumb lunch scenes with like Scott and MJ. Like, I'm looking for more substance.
I do like their friendship.
As do I. But they're not the stars of the show, and sometimes it has felt that way. So I'm looking for more substantial content from them in 2021 via Hulu.
Yeah.
Or 2022, whenever it is.
Whenever it is. It'll be good.
It'll be good. No, I'm excited for them. Starting a new venture is always exciting. Mm-hmm. And I support them no matter what.
I agree. Fifth and final story, a little record-breaking news.
Oh, yes.
Morgan Wallen's Dangerous, the double album, debuts at #1 on the Billboard 200, breaks country streaming records.
I thought you were talking about Olivia Rodrigo.
Well, we did talk about Olivia Rodrigo last week also, but we can talk about her too because she's literally broken every streaming record, 13 million streams daily.
Debuted #1. I just thought that's what you were referring to. But this is also very interesting, especially because I'm a really big Morgan Wallen fan, but I haven't had the time to listen to the album at all.
I've made the time.
And I haven't heard it anywhere, so I'm like, and he actually released it early because it got leaked, so it was like a really kind of a messy release, but to still break all those records when you don't even have like the proper, like, you do like announcement, then you do press and all this, like, it's so contrived, is awesome.
No, the album is sensational, and I think it's just like a testament to how many Morgan Wallen stans there are out there. I see you guys, and I'm so glad that there's so many of us.
He's ushering in like a new generation of young country music fans, 100%.
He was on the cover, I think it was of Billboard this week, Country Without Borders, which I thought was a really great headline.
I don't get it.
It's like, because he transcends the country genre, like everybody loves him, so it's like Doctors Without Borders. Like,
oh, I do love a Doctors Without Borders reference, seeing as how Theo is truly like
the doctor without one border,
without a single one, and he's really like the leader of all the doctors who collectively don't have any borders.
Yes.
And I just have to say, Doctors Without Borders is an amazing organization. We're not making fun of it, but it's just like a little joke here at the Toast.
Yeah, that Dr. Theodore Fritchemin is a doctor without borders.
Yeah, and I think it's so important. Like when I go to doctors, I ask them, I'm like, do you guys have borders? Because like I just think it's so important.
To not.
I think it's an important quality, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I now feel about my country artists. Like,
if you are a country artist with borders, like, goodbye.
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 So Morgan Wallen has none. Not one.
Thank God.
None. Not one.
Zero. Done. I'm so happy for him and his borderless music.
Yeah, so he has...
You remember the bookstore Borders?
Yes.
That was an iconic place.
It was so warm and cozy.
It was just like a friendly place.
But I think the issue with it was that they had borders.
And that's why they didn't succeed.
You mustn't have one.
No, not a single one. It is integral.
I really do think that this is a really interesting factoid. Obviously, the album is really good, but I do think album streams are suffering, like, in this
new world.
Yeah, in the climate right now where you're not going out, you're not, like, taken out. Actually, I think you can go on a boat right now, but like, where it's not the atmosphere to just be listening to music all the time. And so I think, like, the fact that so many people have elected to stream Morgan Wallen's album says a lot about his future as like a major country music artist.
I couldn't agree more. And if I see one more fucking TikTok of people in Australia at a club, I'm literally just going to move there. I saw them literally playing Champagne Problems in a fucking club. So like
in a club,
like packed to the brim, Champagne Problems, everyone vaccinated, happy and healthy. Like, I was just saying this to you earlier. Like, if I don't get to a club soon, like
she's gonna burst.
I'm starting to malfunction.
No, because we're coming up on like the 1 year. You should find the last day that you went to a club, like in your camera roll.
I'm sure I can tell you.
Because you're coming up on 1 year of clublessness.
It was President's Day weekend. I went on a bender and a half in Miami with Margot, and we like heard about coronavirus and we're like, well, it'll go away. And it was like a messy ass weekend. And you know what? No regrets, because I didn't know I would have to literally rely on those memories for literally 12 months, maybe more.
Probably more. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, and I know my fellow party girls listening will definitely relate to this, but I'm just letting you know, like, if I don't get to a club in the next 6 months, like, there will be consequences. And that's on facts. Like, and I'm sorry, but that's just what's going to happen.
We'll do our best.
Human nature is human nature.
Yeah. You can only keep her out of the club for so long.
Yeah, no, I will literally go to an empty club. Like, I just need to feel like the lights.
Music in your veins.
The music on my veins, the lights on my face, like people's hot breath everywhere. Like, I don't know. If I don't get to a club soon, like, there will be consequences. And that's the end of that. Let's dive into our TV recap segment where we talk about the Real Housewives of Dallas before we bring on Cameron Westcott. And that segment is brought to you by Stamps.com. One thing we learned in 2020, the internet is even more awesome than we thought. Groceries online, movies online, doctors online, and of course, going to the post office online with Stamps.com. Stamps.com allows businesses to do all of their mailing and shipping right from their computer. No need to leave their home or home office. Stamps.com has saved small businesses all over the country thousands of hours and tons of money. And now you can too. With Stamps.com, you get the services of the post office and UPS right on your computer, plus big discounts on mailing and shipping rates. Whether you're a small office sending out invoices, an online seller shipping out orders, or even a giant warehouse sending thousands of packages a day, Stamps.com can handle it all with ease. You use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send. Once your mail is ready, just schedule a pickup or drop it off. It's that simple. Plus, like we mentioned with these discounts with Stamps.com, you get 5 cents off of every first-class stamp and up to 40% off priority mail and 62% off UPS shipping rates. It is a fraction of the cost of expensive postage meters. It's a no-brainer, saving you time and money. And make 2021 the year you stop wasting time and going to the post office and go to Stamps.com instead. There is no risk, and with our promo code TOAST, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitment is required or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in TOAST. That's Stamps.com, promo code TOAST. Stamps.com, never go to the post office again.
Love it. Okay, Real Housewives of Dallas, another fantastic episode.
Yeah, I do wish more of minutes had been allotted to the actual party, because by the time we actually got the ladies at the party, it was like 9:45.
No, I know, and that was upsetting. There was one frame, like one shot of all the women on the table dancing, and it literally looked like a frat party. It looked like Animal House. They were like
yeah, but there was also no one around them.
It looked like so much fun. I feel like that's exactly what you need right now.
Yeah, like a COVID-friendly outdoor pool party where I can dance on a table and get sprayed with champagne.
And I just want to thank Mr. Westcott Sr.
Thank you, sir.
For providing the grounds in which this party was held. It was so beautiful and stunning and like just a beautiful change of scenery.
Agreed.
And I wonder how he's going to feel about seeing Tiffany like regurgitate tequila into his hot tub.
But like, why not just in the grass?
Yeah, but I just think it was so generous of him.
I agree, and it's so generous of Cameron to throw that party. Like, that is an expensive party.
That is a really nice party to throw for a friend.
Yeah, but Carrie and Cam have a really good relationship. It was nice to see Brandy back. Like, she definitely has a lot of energy, and she's missed when she's not around. So I was glad to have her back. It looked like such a fun party. Really, I feel like I was following the Twitter drama between Cameron and Tiffany into last night's episode. And Cameron, I guess she like really does not drink a lot, but she was like drunk and she was like, oh my God, I can't even watch this. Like she just like was like a dog with a bone, like not letting it go.
Well, I forgot, but like that was when like Carrie Duber would call her like Badger.
Yeah, that's her MO.
That is how she gets when she's fighting with someone.
Yeah, but she recognized it on Twitter, and we love to see someone who recognizes their own shortcomings.
Because it was getting to be too much.
And her and Tiffany seemed to have like some sort of rapprochement on Twitter last night. Like it wasn't toxic and negative. They were like working together.
That's great.
Yeah, it was good. The party seemed fun, except, Carrie Brittingham is really annoying. Like with her, I am like that too, but she's like takes it to a level that's so aggressive, being the fun police. And I understand like you want it, but you don't have to worry about these women. Like everyone will get fucked up. And I thought she really took it too far when she pushed Tiffany in the pool. And I couldn't believe Tiffany didn't freak out more. Like I would have been so fucking annoyed.
No, me too. Regardless of whether or not you can swim, like to be pushed in the pool is just such a juvenile thing to do.
In a full hair and makeup,
like stunning dress.
On camera. Like I feel like when the cameras went down, everyone like fully went in the pool, but we're still working on a television show. Like you want to look pretty. You're not going to like look like a wet dog getting out of a pool.
That's a crazy thing to do.
It was really rude. I do think Carrie Brittingham looks amazing for 50 though. Like it's crazy. That photo shoot, like she actually looked fire.
Yeah. The photo shoot was like a little funny.
Oh, no, the photo shoot was lame. Sorry, it was like QVC, but I meant like her body.
Oh yeah, she looks incredible, but it was a little like
it was very Home Shopping Network.
Corny, yeah.
Yeah.
But like Home Shopping Network plus nipple.
Plus a nipple and like ass cheek too. Yeah, totally. And then Travis and Stephanie. Like Travis is like such a dick sometimes, and I'm surprised he hasn't seen himself on TV and like reeled in that behavior. And sometimes it's like endearing and funny, but like sometimes it's just not.
Yeah, but I also can appreciate someone who like it isn't just saying stuff because cameras are there.
That's true.
It's just like being their self.
Yeah, I just think him and Stephanie have like a really healthy marriage. Like if you're having those conversations on TV,
camera, like,
and it's not toxic, like it's really helpful conversations.
I agree. Like the conversation that they had by their lake, just so beautiful.
By their lake,
which was a tough conversation to have, but like the fact that they had it on camera, I think is really healthy. And then they also did their interview together where they're like fighting about money, and I think the fact that they can do that on camera like means it's not so serious.
I agree. I think they have such a good marriage, and I'm actually, the more I think about it, I think Dallas Housewives like have some of the best marriages. Like Deandra and Jeremy, I'm just obsessed. Like Jeremy's so hot, like, and he thinks Deandra's so hot. It's just like, it's such a healthy relationship. Cameron and Court are hysterical, like two people speaking totally different languages. Court and Stephanie, not Court, what's his name? Travis and Stephanie. And I also think that Brandy and Brian have a good marriage, but they really went through it on her first season.
I don't think he's into filming.
And he was like made into a villain, and I think he wants nothing to do with it, but like likes the money and fame that it brings for Brandy, but doesn't want himself to be a part of it.
Which I could respect.
Yeah.
Carrie and her husband seem to be doing better. I think he saw himself on TV, and he's just trying to be supportive.
Yeah, and we don't know a lot about Tiffany's husband, but I'm sure they have a nice life.
She seems like she has a happy home life. Tiffany is getting a lot of personal airtime.
I mean, the whole episode was her shopping for groceries.
Yeah, no, but also she probably gets as much narrating time, like confessional time, as Cameron, if not more. Like I feel like it's majority Tiffany and Cameron.
Agreed.
Which is a lot for a first season housewife.
I agree, but she's super funny and her confessional looks are fire.
Yeah.
So it's just like such a good season. Like if you're not into Housewives, I would really recommend starting with this. It's also easy to start with Salt Lake City because there's only one season.
But Salt Lake City is like right now to me feels like a good reality show. I guess maybe because they haven't had a reunion yet. Like it's not. It doesn't have that like Housewives feel yet.
But there's only one season. Right. That's why it's easy to get into. Honestly, I feel like Potomac is actually there's only 5 seasons. Potomac and Dallas are really good places, I feel like, for Housewives newbies to start.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh my God. I just had a hiccup. So anything else about Dallas Housewives that you want to talk about?
No, I'm just really enjoying it. Like,
me too.
It's nice to have a franchise that you enjoy, but
and the wealth is real.
OC is on tonight, reunion part 1, and like I know that the season was trash, but I actually sometimes think that the worse that a season is, the better the reunion is.
Yes.
Because there's like more to talk about.
And there's this huge rumor going around.
Right. That Bronwyn offered cocaine to Shannon's daughter.
And that it comes up at the reunion.
Right.
And Bronwyn actually responded to a comment because like once this rumor came out, and it came out on like a bunch of Bravo blogs, which isn't always like the most accurate news source, but I think it was pretty much validated. Someone commented on Bronwyn. I guess a lot of people did. And she answered one of them being like, I don't remember it. Shannon retold it to me. I made amends. And then I found out from someone else, like who was there, that's really not how it went down. We'll see, but that's fucking crazy.
Crazy.
So in my opinion, that should be grounds for firing.
Yeah. So I'm actually looking forward to the OC reunion.
Me too.
All I'm saying.
And it appears as though Gina is looking phenomenal with her short, healthy hair. And if I'm going to talk negatively about her hair, when it looks good, I have to allot some airtime to talking about it positively. And it looks really, really good. And I'm really happy for her.
And now, after a full season of OC, I see how I ended last season as a somewhat of a Gina stan.
By the way, me too. But you just cannot deny that the queen of OC is currently Emily Simpson. Like you literally, and then I know you want to deny it.
For Emily Simpson?
I'm an Emily Simpson, and I know you want to deny it.
I'm not.
But you can't. She has so much energy. And by the way, she went on this like huge health journey. So I think at the reunion, we're pretty caught up. She is the Snatchler. She's like so funny. I watched her a little bit of her on Heather McMahon's podcast, and like she was just like really taking charge of like the narrative, especially around Shane and their marriage, because like I kind of feel bad for her. Like Shane is kind of like a joke to people. He's like short.
I don't think anymore. I think he had a very redeeming season.
He did, but I just think the way like the audience treats him like is like jokey. And I just thought she was like really like standing up for her man, and I just loved it. Like I just love her. She might be one of my favorite housewives like of all time, even though on the worst franchise with the worst cast ever.
It's easy to shine.
It's easy. That's true. That's true.
Do you want to do Dear Toasters? Or?
Sure. Do you not?
Oh yeah. No. I just never mind.
Were you being rude? Sounds like you were being a little rude.
I wasn't. I thought maybe that you had forgotten.
How could I forget? I have so many cards here.
Okay.
Oh my
Sorry.
God, trying to rush me through my Emily Simpson monologue. See, I told you. She doesn't want me to like Emily Simpson. Okay. Dear Toasters, our advice segment where we offer advice to anyone who wants it. You can email us, deartoasters@gmail.com. We will always read your prompt anonymously, change some names. Let's get started. Hello, ladies. Thank you so much for being so stunning and smart, as well as my best friends in the queue. Wait, thank you for being so stunning.
We are her best friends in the queue.
No. Thank you for being so stunning and smarter.
No.
As well as my best.
We're beautiful and smart.
She wrote smarter.
Oh, we're beautiful and smarter.
Let me read it again.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being so stunning and smarter, as well as my best friends in the queue.
Okay, I think the smarter was just like an error.
I love hearing about your lives. The toast is really one of the best parts of my day. Thank you so much. Sorry for making fun of your grammar.
We didn't.
Anyways, to my question. My fiance lives with his roommate, Mark. Mark has recently been bringing this girl home from work to stay the night. This is totally fine, as I stay the night once or twice a week as well, just to get away from my parents every so often. However, he and this girl have been having sex literally every 5 seconds, and it's loud. We can hear everything through the wall. She likes to yell, and we can hear everything they are saying. It's a bit much. Monday night, they did it about 3 times in the span of 24 hours, and each time, we could hear them throughout the house. This becomes super problematic, especially when we are trying to get work or school done. My poor fiance was in the middle of a Zoom meeting when they started, and he had to go outside because of their ear blasting humping. My fiance says this has been going on for 2 weeks, and while he doesn't mind that his roommate does it, but it's getting to a point where it's almost unbearable, in the middle of the night, early in the morning, during a Zoom. My question is, how can we politely let our friend Mark know that him and his girlfriend are just too fucking loud when they are doing the nasty without being so overt? The walls are thin, but it's like they know they are loud and don't care. Should I push my fiance to set some boundaries, talk to Mark myself, or just let them be during their weird sex phase that they're in? Please help. Signed, a scarred toaster for life.
That's really tough. I think there's a few things. One, I think that this is like a phase of their relationship that, eventually it will fizzle into like a less frequent activity.
They will be Miss Fizzle.
But I think that if it's interrupting Zoom calls in work and school, you could just say, or have your fiance say, bro, like, could you just not while during the workday, because sometimes you can hear it.
And by the way, it honestly feels like an awkward conversation, but when boys do it, it's like, bro, like, it's not weird.
I don't think it's weird. And also, maybe he has no idea that like you could really hear so much. And I think that would make him like just a little self-aware and be more conscious of that, especially conscious of what time of day it's going down.
And maybe conscious of spending some time at the girl's apartment. Like, why is it always on Mark and his roommate?
Right. I would just say honesty is the best policy. Like, this is just something that you just have to confront head on.
Yeah, and it's always about the delivery, not the message.
Yeah, like it's not angry,
Right, it's not angry. It's just like heads up, like we can hear you.
We're in a shared workspace, like it's unprecedented times.
Yeah.
No,
you're right. In these unprecedented times, we have to learn how to live together and communicate. Mm-hmm. And this is a prime example of that. Mm-hmm. It's just the topic is a little uncomfortable, but you can do it.
Mm-hmm. Pretend it's about a different topic then.
Yeah.
Say he's working out.
Yeah.
And the machine is rattling the floors.
Yeah, I hear your elliptical.
Yeah, so approach it as you would something that's not a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
But just pretend you're talking about something else.
All right, next up. Dear Jackie and Claudia, longtime toaster here. I just have to thank you for all of your joy and laughter that the toast has brought me, especially during the hard days of quarantine. My boyfriend and I have been together for about 3 years and always had a really healthy and fun relationship. We don't live together, but it's something we've talked about in the next year or so. Over the last month, my boyfriend has talked a lot about this girl that he works with, Red. That's her name. Through mutual friends, she met my boyfriend, who referred her to his work and basically got her a job on his team. He calls her his work wife, raves about how fun and crazy, in a good way, she is. A few times his laptop has been open to their work messages on Teams, and they seemed very flirty and definitely not the way I talk to guys at my work. I noticed that she was messaging him, her name popped up on his phone, and while he was reading the messages, he was smiling to himself, but quickly put his phone down and turned it over. I'm not a jealous or insecure person, but something about this just gives me a weird feeling. To layer it on, recently, my boyfriend opened up to me that he is feeling disconnected and frustrated in our relationship and wants to spice things up in the bedroom in an attempt to feel more connected. Over the last month, I felt him being more distant, as I am the one who usually messages him first, calls and FaceTimes him, goes to see him, etc. Am I being crazy in thinking that something is going on and it's weird to have a work wife?
No, you're not crazy.
No, that you message and chat with outside of work hours? Do I have enough of a leg to stand on to confront my boyfriend about this, or do you think this is normal low point for long-term couples, especially given that we aren't seeing each other as frequently due to COVID? Signed, a confused corporate toaster. No, there is I like to say, where there is smoke, there is not always fire, but this building is ablaze.
No, this would really, really bother me, and it's something that's difficult to navigate.
And verbalize.
And it's not something I've thought about before, but this notion of a work wife, I'm just not okay with.
Me neither, unless you're both single.
Right, and in which case, maybe get together.
You're my work wife.
Yeah, I'm really not here for this, and honestly, because it's so seemingly innocuous right now. Like anything that you say, you will sound crazy and you'll only drive him closer to her.
And you don't have any concrete proof.
And like him saying he wants to spice things up, and this is the last things you want to hear, but this is how I feel.
Yeah.
Him saying he wants to spice things up in the bedroom, it's like he's thinking, like
thinking about
he's
her.
trying not to have an affair. And so he's like, let's make the sex crazier at home.
100%. And part of me is like mad at him.
I'm sorry to laugh. Like, I don't know what I would do. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable, and like literally, like I feel for you, and I kind of want you to take your power back and like break up with him. Like,
but he hasn't done anything wrong yet.
no, I know, but like just like the inferences he's making, like I know what his plan is, and like I want to beat him to it.
No, and like him looking at his phone and smiling, like,
oh, how dare you?
Is like gnawing at
Chill,
me.
bone chilling. How dare you laugh at your phone when I didn't send that message? How fucking dare you?
100%.
I'm so angry. And you know what? I kind of like go to your work wife. You'll be happy there. Does she love you like I can? No. She make the bed and tuck in the corners like I do? No.
Yeah, I just feel like the next update is not going to be.
I would love to hear back
one.
from you. What's our advice here? Run.
Monitor the situation. You know,
what nerve? I want to spice things up. Why? Because you fell in love with your work wife. Now it's my problem.
Yeah, now that's on
I have
me.
to put on titty tassels. That ain't right. That ain't right. Now I have to incur the cost of all these new products for the bedroom because you fell in love with your work wife and you can't stop smiling at your phone. Dick, I hate this guy. Oh my God.
I know, but like, I think this is a common thing. Like, people, you spend a lot of time talking to the people that you work with. Say there's someone that you vibe with. It doesn't necessarily mean affair, but it is this like titillating extracurricular activity. What do you do about it?
That's why I'm girl with no job, you know, and I'm married boy with no job because he won't have a work wife because
you know what
I won't allow it. My house, we have a couple rules. You take your shoes off and you don't have a work wife.
Yeah. You know what I think? I think that he needs a taste of his own medicine. I think you need to get a work husband. And I think you need to start smiling at your phone and like saying these things that you need to do in the bedroom that like would never occur to him. And then he'll be like, where are you getting these ideas?
Yeah, that's the advice. That is it.
A taste of his own medicine.
Yes.
To see how uncomfortable it feels like to feel like second fiddle.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be like a work husband if you could just find someone like who you really vibe with, like, and just like start texting them a lot.
Yeah, and smiling.
Or like literally like, I don't know, get on Tinder or something. Just like find someone.
No, because that's cheap. Like then you cross the line.
That's true. Don't cross the line.
You just have to toe the line like he is.
Okay, you're right. Please update us. Like I would love to know what this prick does next. Unless you guys unless you're overblowing it and he's a nice guy and like you guys live happily ever after, and then I'm really happy for you. Hi, Claudia and Jackie. How you doing? My P-John boyfriend of 5 years recently proposed over the holiday season. Mazel tov. I couldn't be happier, but I'm already running into issues with my future sister-in-law. I love my fiance's family, but anytime the wedding is brought up, she always has something negative to say. She complains about how expensive a certain bachelorette location would be, but I wasn't even planning on inviting her to my bachelorette party. She has told us that we cannot have our wedding until spring of 2022, as she wants to get pregnant and have a baby before the summer. To top it all off, I will not
That's just not how weddings work, by the way.
They don't revolve
around
the groom's sister's pregnancy.
The fertility calendar of the groom's sister.
To top it all off, I will not be having her as a bridesmaid because I just don't want her in the wedding, and my fiance agrees, saying it is completely my decision. Sounds like you have a great fiance, so supportive.
Focus on that.
My future sister-in-law's best friend, okay, so the sister-in-law's best friend, who's like family, knows I'm not having her in the bridal party, but has said that the sister-in-law will be upset. How can I want to ask her to be a bridesmaid where she's going to have to spend significantly more money than she would just as a guest when all she has done is make negative comments about all the aspects of the wedding and complains about money constantly? I'm 100% sure I don't want her in the wedding, but I feel like I need to incorporate her in some other way. As two married women, any advice on what I could do to incorporate her into this day? So by the way, because she's married, the sister-in-law, you do have a little bit of an out because once you're married, like you don't always become a bridesmaid. Like you're like a matron or something.
A matron of honor. You could say that.
Like give her like a fake title. Those exist for like married women who you don't want to be bridesmaids. And I just have to say, like, wedding is a one time in your life when you can be selfish. And like, I just would not give a single thought to what this girl's feeling is on the schedule, on the money, like.
Oh, of course. But I would just say that, like, if you do plan on burning this bridge, which I do think, like, not having her as part of your bridal party is a big FU, you need to be okay with, like,
the possible fallout.
Yeah. And not having a close relationship with her, and I don't know how your husband's relationship is with her, but if you're gonna do that, just realize what you're doing. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, because I think that that brings so much negativity to your day.
It's right, and you just got engaged, and you could already feel like the breeding ground of negativity.
Right, but I do think giving her this title, like matron of honor or something, you could say, like, I want you to be, and maybe she walks down in the wedding procession, like that's a fine thing for her to do.
But that's no bachelorette
But then
party.
you say like you'll be like a matron of honor, so you'll be in my like wedding
photos
procession, but no obligation to be on the bachelorette party, as I know that like the cost is not something that you're willing to front.
Yeah, I you know, whenever. And like I experienced it a little bit with my own wedding.
You could even like use her own words against her and be like, because I've heard all of your concerns about an expensive bachelorette party, I wanted to make sure that you didn't feel obligated to come.
I experienced
Therefore,
it like
you're not a bridesmaid.
Very little with my own wedding, but when we read these Dear Toaster submissions, I'm always really, really surprised at how much gall people have during other people's like simchas.
It's crazy.
Like, and
all you have to do, it's so easy. You just show up, literally, like Clare.
Fucking quiet.
Yeah.
Like be quiet and show
smile,
up.
drink, done.
Yeah, no, like I'm actually such a great wedding guest, even though I hate weddings. But like I will eat all your food, I will drink all your drinks, and I will dance the night away. Like I'm actually like a great. I'm worth the $200. Whatever it costs.
It's easy to be a good wedding guest, but like say you're a bridesmaid for someone. Like I can't imagine saying anything like, okay, where are we going for the bachelorette? Sweet, let's go.
You know what?
Like,
it depends, because there are some girls and boys who have like a million best friends and have been a bridesmaids like a million times, where it's like I can probably count on my hand, besides for my family, like the people whose weddings I will be in and have been in, because I have like very few close friends, and so like their happiness like means so much to me because I value their friendship. But when you have like 1,000 best friends and you're like
just
going
got a
to
rogue friend that you feel obligated to
camp,
include,
school, college, like they're less meaningful.
Yeah.
And so like you're just whatever complaining about the bachelorette party because like you've been on 1,000 this year.
Yeah. So my advice would be to the single girls, really hone in on your close friends.
Yeah.
It's quality over quantity.
You
so
don't
that
need
way
1,000
you don't have
bridesmaids.
to make hard choices, and you don't have to include girls who aren't going to show up for you on
And
your
who are
big
going to
day.
be negative.
Yeah.
So that's Dear Toasters. Again, you can always write into us, deartoasters@gmail.com. If you have written into us and we have read your prompt on air, please write us again. Let us know how it turned out. A little update we would always appreciate. And next up, we've got our interview with Cameron Westcott from The Real Housewives of Dallas. If you're watching us on YouTube, the interview is podcast only since we are living in COVID times. Cameron joined us via Zoom, and she is just a queen, and it's such a fun interview. She's such a great gal.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for listening to The Morning Toast. Enjoy. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.